You ready? Do you know why God asked us to give 10% of our income to the church? You know there's a reason why God asked us to give 10% of our income to the church? It isn't because God needs our money. Look at Haggai 2 and 8 before I finish this statement. Haggai 2 and 8. Somebody said, hey, who went in there? Haggai 2 and 8 says, he says, the silver is mine. The gold is mine. So God's not asking you because he needs our money. The tithe, the 10% exists for our benefit, not God's. Somebody says, please, Pastor, show it to me. Show it to me, because we've just got it wrong way, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you this illustration. Let's say you have all tithers. Here's what tradition and religion taught us. All tithers on this side, they tithe, and all people who, they don't give the 10% on this side. And so here's what the church has done, and I'll show you why people just hate hearing it. Here's what the church has done. I was involved in some of that as well. Thank God I just keep changing and getting delivered. See that? It's over. I know, watch this. So here's the tithe on this side, and for all the people that tithe, and you see their lives, we say, oh, but you know, they're blessed, and their marriage is great, and ooh, look at what happened in their life, and ooh, what happened here, ooh, look at what God did because they tithe. And then what we were communicating to the non-tithers is, see why your life is such a mess? Because you didn't do what they did to earn what God gave them. That's wrong. That's wrong attitude. Here's the thing. God, through his grace, has made everything available to both groups. It's available to the tithers, and it's available to the non-tithers. Somebody says, well, if it's available to everybody, then why does everybody need to tithe? Because tithing proves to you that you trust God. Non-tithers are giving no proof that they trust him, that they trust their ability more than they trust God. But the issue is not whether you tithe or not is going to make God do something. What God has done, he's done for everybody. He wants everybody to benefit. But there's one little interesting thing about the system. You got to believe God. Do you trust him? Listen to me very carefully. God doesn't need your money any more than he needed those Old Testament sacrifices. The point of the tithe is for you to learn to recognize God as the source of all of your money. It's one thing to say you believe God is your source. You know, people do that, especially church folks. Oh, yeah, you know I believe. It's one thing to say that, but it's another thing to prove it. The way you prove to yourself, not God, the way you prove to yourself, you say, oh yeah, I believe God, but the way you prove to yourself, not God, that you trust him and that you believe him and that you believe that he is your source. The way you prove that you believe that God is your source is to give a portion of what you make back to him. People who don't really see God as their source are going to balk at giving part of what they have already earned with 40 and 60 hours a week. They're going to have a problem doing that. They're going to have a huge problem doing that. They're going to think, I need that money more than God. But giving back some of what God has already given you is nothing when you see God as your source.